Is this thing working?
It's still working.
You got it? Okay. Good morning, everyone. I'd like to call a meeting of the Charlotte County Airport Authority for November 26, 2024. Please remind you to turn off your cell phones. Those who would like to join us for the invocation, Mr. Thornberry will.
Heavenly Father, we are incredibly thankful and grateful for our airport and the opportunity to serve. We're especially thankful for our staff and our operators who make it successful. We ask you to guide us and give us wisdom throughout our meeting and our discussions. We pray for our community and the citizens of Charlotte County. We ask you to work within our community to help us continue to recover and be the best that we can be. We pray for safety and well-being as we go throughout our day, and forgiveness. We ask all to your will and all to your glory. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Pledge of allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, our first item of business this morning will be the swearing in of our newly elected airport commissioners. Our judge is here to do the honors, and I'm going to ask all three of them to stand up, and they're going to do it.
You're going to do them individually or one?
He's going to do them all at once?
Yeah, so you can all stand up, I thought.
Yeah.
And then what I would do is I would have each one of you say your name, and then we would do the oath all at once. I thought it would be so much easier when I got married if there were two other groups up there saying my words.
Do you want them down front, Judge, or?
I was going to use
Yeah.
this. Yeah, go ahead. Made me so happy, they just call me their judge. You know that? I'm the only circuit civil judge here in Charlotte County. I handle all the civil cases. We have felony judges, family law judge, I do everything else. So thank you for having me. This is my third or fourth time here. I've been up here since July 1st of 2020 when my wife and I moved up. We thought right in the middle of the pandemic would be a great time to move to Charlotte County. So I'm going to swear them in. Thank you so much for having me. All right, Mr. Buskovich, we'll start with you. Please say your name.
I, Dr. Stephen S. Leskovich.
I, Sean Swelling.
I, TJ Thornberry.
I'm going to split it up in short little bites. I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support,
that I will support,
protect, and defend
protect, and defend
the Constitution
the Constitution
and government of the United States
and government of the United States
and of the state of Florida,
and of the state of Florida,
that I am duly qualified
that I am duly qualified
to hold office
to hold office
under the Constitution of the state,
under the Constitution of the state,
and that I will well
and that I will well
and faithfully
and faithfully
perform the duties of
perform the duties of
Commissioner of Charlotte County Airport Authority,
Commissioner of Charlotte County Airport Authority,
on which I am now
and on which I am now
about to enter.
about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll see you next year.
Thank you.
See you next time. Come on down, folks. There's a picture opportunity here. We have some family. Was there someone that wanted to have pictures taken to memorialize the... I don't know what's best, maybe over here.
What do you want to judge?
Let's over here. As I always say, photographers say like we know each other. This reminds me of adoption. Let me get out of the way. Let me get out of the way.
think, riding behind him.
How about this? Congratulations. Thanks, everybody. Our middle daughter just got married, and I'm having flashbacks.
Thank you all for bearing.
Yeah, I guess we'll go ahead and dismiss the judge.
You're free to go.
Yeah. Is that how they say that?
That is not the first thing anybody, the worst thing anybody will think about me today. I'm gonna stay just give what you all give to me, I'm gonna do your own. And then I'll leave quietly.
Okay, well,
Wait 1 second. Each of you have to sign it.
I guess we won't let you go, Lynn.
Not yet. You sign it. Then I'll put my seal on it. And then I think you need to do at the bottom too, the bottom right-hand corner. Thanks. Signature up front, you see, and then signature right column. I'm not sure if that came through. Yeah, that's just how you guys want it. There, Judge. Now I'm dismissed.
Okay, we'll proceed. Roll call.
Morning, everyone. Mr. Leskovich,
Present.
Mr. Swellen,
Present.
Mr. Carr,
Here.
Mr. Hansick,
Here.
Mr. Parrish,
Here.
Mr. Thornberry.
Here.
Thank you.
Okay, item 6 on the agenda is an election of officers. We've got our full board now, commissioners, except for Kathleen, that's not here. So we turn this over to our attorney, Mr. Carr, who will conduct the election of officers.
Thank you, Assistant Secretary Hansick, now sitting as the chair because there are apparently 2 other members that are, I'm sorry, Ms. Capola is not here, and the prior chair and the prior vice chair have moved on. So we are now Assistant Secretary Treasurer Hansick, pursuant to the rules, acting as our chair, has now been turned over to me for the purposes of having officers elected to serve for the next 1 year. At this point, what I'd like to do is call for nominations for the chair.
I'd like to nominate Commissioner Hansick to be chair.
Don't we have any discussion on it?
Well,
No, I'm just kidding.
I have, if I
Thank
want
you.
to call this now, I have a nomination for Commissioner Hansick for the chair. Are there any other nominations? Any other nominations? Any other nominations? I'll call a vote. All those in favor of the chairman being Commissioner Hansick, please say aye.
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 It was unanimous. Did you vote, sir? No? Okay.
That work.
Commissioner Hansick, you have the option of me turning the gavel back to you to continue, or I'll proceed.
Proceed.
Okay. Now I'd like to call for nominations for the vice chair.
I'd like to nominate T.J. Thornberry.
I have a nomination for Commissioner Thornberry to serve as the vice chair. Any other nominations? Any other nominations? I'll close the nominations. All those in favor of Mr. Thornberry, Commissioner Thornberry serving as vice chair, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Congratulations, Commissioner Thornberry. Now accept nominations for the Secretary Treasurer.
I'd like to nominate Stephen Leskovich.
I have a nomination of Commissioner Leskovich to serve as the Secretary Treasurer. Any other nominations? Any other nominations? Nominations closed. All those in favor of Commissioner Leskovich serving as Secretary Treasurer, please say aye.
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 Again, that would be unanimous. Now accept nominations for Assistant Secretary.
And I'm going to nominate Mr. Sweelan, please.
The nomination of Commissioner Sweelan. Any other nominations? Any other nominations? And for the nominations, all those in favor of Commissioner Sweelan serving as Assistant Secretary Treasurer, please say aye.
Aye.
Again, that is unanimous. Commissioner Hansik, it's now turned back over to you as the chairperson.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Carr.
Congratulations, everybody.
Yeah. Okay, item 7 on the agenda, citizens input. Anyone wishing to address the board during this portion should state their name and come forward. Seeing no one wishing to address the board at this time, we'll move on to agenda item 8. Any additions or deletions, Mr. Parrish?
No, sir.
Okay. Item 9, consent agenda. All matters under this item are considered routine and will accomplish by one motion without separate discussion unless there's someone that wishes to take something off the consent agenda.
I'll move to approve the consent agenda as presented.
I'll second that motion.
We have a motion and any further discussion? We have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried unanimous. Okay, Secretary's Treasurer's Report. Our Secretary Treasurer is not here. What you see is a summary of financial review, and Mr. Parrish, if you'd like to go through it. Oh, that's right. We got a new Secretary Treasurer.
Mr. Lesky. Commissioner Lesky.
You want to pass it to me, sir?
Yes, I'm going to pass the buck to you.
Okay.
Well, we got to get used to all this new stuff, you know.
So this is the
Norland's first big moment.
I certainly understand.
This is the month of September, and this is also the year end, so the year to date will be year end. We always plan on a slight loss in September, and we succeeded. We were a little over our proposed or our estimated loss for the month, slightly. But if you look at the column to the right, revenue for the year was up by about $1 million over our budget, and expenses were up about $500,000 for $458,000. So as a variance of a profit of an additional $599,000, putting us at $3.667 million for the year operating profit. So overall, a very good year. The month was what we expect for September. It's a slow month at the airport, but all the expenses still continue. And we'll see that turning around next month and this month for sure, because we are extremely busy. We are already in the red lot and probably be in the grass by this afternoon. To go on to accounts receivables, we have a few minor accounts receivables, but nothing to speak of. A couple of T-hanger tenants that we're chasing down right now, but everything else is paid up. And the income statement we just went over basically. You saw in summary form, but you have the full income statement in front of you. If there's any specific questions, I am probably able to answer them, and if not, Chad is here, he can answer them. The balance sheet continues to be positive as we add items to the bottom line. $212 million in net position currently. That is up from about $40 million just a few years ago, if you followed this. So there's been a lot of construction, a lot of things added to the balance sheet. So it's been an exciting times here. Any specific questions on those? If not, sir.
Okay. Item 11, which we'll need to discuss a little bit, but first we need our liaison report from Mr. Thornberry with the Metropolitan Planning Organization. Yeah.
We have had a series of special meetings searching for a new director. We have narrowed that down. There's been an offer, and we have actually another special meeting this afternoon in contract negotiations. Other than that, there's no airport business to report. Thank you.
Okay. Historically, in the past, it's been the prerogative of the chair to establish certain liaisons with,
New business item A.
well, I haven't gotten that far yet. Okay. We'll go back. I'll delay my comments to then. I'm new at this too, you know, come on. Okay, let's move on to item 12, the attorney's report. You're up.
Thank you, sir.
We'll get there.
Thank you, Chairman.
Oh, that's better.
I like that.
You like-
Thank you, Chair. Appreciate the opportunity. Fortunately, it's been a rather slow month associated with various problems, just working on numerous leases, and of course, the continued fallout relative to Rosati's and Chai Pizza, which we continue to work through, but I think that we're now in a very good position on that. Waiting on a final analysis from staff associated with all of the fallout, and so we can determine whether or not we need to proceed one way or another, but I think that it's pretty much under control. Other than that, all's quiet.
Moving on, item 13, our CEO's report on 3 issues.
3 issues?
They're not issues, they're subjects.
Subjects, okay. So, wow, I thought we had issues. Well, Brett will be doing this in the future, but as he said, no one asked if he would be here when we change this meeting, and this is his week that he spends with his family in Georgia, killing deer and giving thanks for the deer, I guess. So I will go through the development report. As you see in design, the building 97 replacement, that is really in late stage permitting. That's the building that used to be in the rental car QTA facility area. We're now moving it to the ramp. It'll handle maintenance of equipment for the airline. The new FBO hangar is still sitting. We're getting some final numbers on that. We'll be bringing that to you. Not today, but next time, I think. Golf Course Boulevard, that's on hold. That'll be coming back in January. And then the Perimeter Road Phase 2A is also going to be coming back. Is in design, and that will be hopefully a grant project this year, if not early next year, or 2025 or early 26. Taxiway Alpha reconstruction is in design. We signed that, and the master drainage plan is almost done. We have a meeting with the Water Management District, and we hope to get that completely submitted shortly. Bidding and funding the commercial terminal expansion, we are finalizing our GMP on that, and we'll be bringing that. We were successful with the second round of terminal funding with another $10 million. So that puts us at a total of $20 million from the feds. We are in line for some state money. We're still waiting on the outcome of that, but we do have the grant in place, or the loan in place to pre-fund that as we wait on both PFCs and state funding. So I'm going to probably put that on the next agenda for signing, so we can get that started as soon as season is over, and the new ARF truck is under construction. It'll be about 14 months from now. We should see a new ARF truck, inline baggage system. We are putting the roof on. As you can see, we've been flying trusses and now steel onto that building all week, started last week, and the roof material is on site, and we should be putting that on. Once that's dried in, then we'll have a lot of electrical work getting all the conveyors and stuff wired, but the conveyors, a significant amount of it is here. It's in some Connex boxes stored across the street. CTC, we have a groundbreaking next week, or December 11th. And the maintenance and operation building is across the street here. It's well underway. We Finally got the doors and the windows on, which had been a delay. The roof is on the office side of it. We hope to move into that in the first quarter of next year. Rental car facility is also under construction. The slab's been poured. We're waiting on some power to be brought in so that we can pour the last section of slab, and then we will start going vertical on that probably first of the year. Hangar 207 replacement is underway. Taxiway Charlie will start. We had pre-construction. That'll start shortly. That'll go probably for about a year. It'll be a little bit of a there'll be some problems with taxiways and stuff as it's built, but we'll minimize that, as we did when we did Taxiway Delta, which was a much bigger project. Fuel farm security improvements just open. That'll come off this list next time. And 227 we talked about twice. And Building 101 replacement, they're doing the electrical and plumbing rough-in on that right now. So that is all I have. Ms. Miller, you have a marketing update?
Good morning. Congratulations, Commissioners Leskevich and Swellen and TJ Thornberry again. Thank you. I will get your headshots uploaded on the website today, so don't worry about that. And Kelly and I will work on some name tags for you, and I'll get some business cards ordered for you if you would like as well. We got 2 new flights announced, Savannah and Chattanooga, and we're supporting that from a marketing level, of course. In front of you, we have some of the summary of the event flyers coming up. One I'd like to touch on is the Aviation Gives Back Chili Cook-Off on December 3rd, and our employees and tenants and partners are invited to that. And we're promoting local businesses that donate to our chance auction on our website and social media. So if y'all have any businesses, partners that would be interested in donating an auction item, we'd love that. And if you're interested in attending, just let me know as soon as possible, because that's coming up December 3rd. And this is all to support the United Way of Charlotte County, and they've been a great partner to the Airport Authority and our employees during disasters, as well as our entire community. So we're involved with the United Way of Charlotte County in that regard. So thank you for your support in advance for that. We also have, as James mentioned, the photo op, groundbreaking photo op on December 11th, followed by the EDP mixer. And thank you all have RSVP'd for that, commissioners. I appreciate that. And beyond that, we have a good summary of the marketing report is in your board report every month, which talks about all the things we're doing from events and social media and marketing summary to support air service development and our routes with Allegiant and Sun Country. And if you have any other questions about things going on at the airport, let me know. Oh, also the parade coming up December 14th for the Charlotte County Chamber of Commerce. Thank you for RSVPing for that. I think I just need to hear from Commissioner Leskevich if he and his lovely family want to be on the float. Yes, that sounds great. So we're looking forward to that as well. With Curtis the Hawk, our mascot's going to be on the float waving around, and the commissioners get to hand out squishy happy planes to the children along the parade route. So it should be a really good time. Mr. Rosenstein, our CFO, is going to be driving the truck and trailer for us, so buckle up. So if you don't have any questions, just let me know. Whatever y'all need in the future from marketing, public relations, communications, just let me know. Thanks.
Thank you. Excellent. I
And,
don't believe. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to pass it on to Mr. LaRoche, but
Well, I can go ahead.
all right. Mr. LaRoche?
Good morning, Commissioners. So despite the weather in October, we did have a pretty good increase again in total airport operations, pretty much due to flight schools as they continue to increase activity here. For passengers, we were down a little bit, and that was mainly due to the hurricane. Allegiant ceased operations for about 2 days total during Milton, so we were down there, which also impacts our fuel a little bit, which I'll get to towards the end of the fuel counts here. Avgas sold off the truck, again, a significant increase due to flight school activity. Off the truck is mainly Paragon Flight School, and they are increasing their aircraft here, which continues to increase the fuel sales off of the truck. Along with that, you'll see, well, first we're going to go to Jet A gallons sold. That was up over last year mainly because of the T-45s and T-6s, because of our Defense Logistics Agency fuel contract. We attract those training aircraft here for about a month or two every year. They were taking quite a bit of fuel while they were here, enjoying some hot dogs and burgers over at the FBO, and I want to give a shout out to the FBO staff for taking care of those guys while they were here. Self-service, again, significant increase, both on the Air Center apron and on the north ramp. Both self-serves are doing well there. Again, north ramp is mainly flight fast track, supporting that increase over there.
Yeah, I will say, when we first talked about putting one in there, we talked about a 500-gallon tank. I'm glad we did not do that. We would be filling it up twice a day.
They're going through quite a bit of fuel there. Again, airline gallons pumped, this is what I alluded to before, down a little bit due to the storm, and also tankering fuel in during the storm, after the storm event. The ports were having difficulty getting fuel loads out, so we saw a little bit of a decrease there because of that. Also want to bring up that the Air Traffic Control Tower Manager, George Harper, held a RSAT meeting, which is the Runway Safety Action Team. We had the FAA in attendance and quite a few tenants for that. The whole point of that is to go over incidents that have occurred over the past year to improve safety on the airfield. So that was a very well attended and a good event for us here last week. Thank you.
Ray, on the forecast, passenger employments, it looks like we're probably going to end the year about where we were last year.
Yeah, we're expecting significant increase this month and next month with passenger
So
traffic.
we'll be pushing like a 1.9 million again
right
total.
around there. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Next year, we will be considerably higher. They're already selling almost 30% increase in seats
Over the summer.
For the summer.
for season and summer, so.
Break that 2 million mark. Okay.
Is that because of the new planes or something?
You know, they just did the largest expansion in their history last week. And we were the beneficiary of only one new city, but a significant number of increases in daily operations or weekly operations per cities that we already travel to.
Okay. Moving on to our agenda item 15, which is new business. First item is liaison assignments. Historically, the chair appoints board members to liaison with various agencies within the city and county. In the past, we've had, of course, with the MPO, the city of Punta Gorda, and the county. And I have not had a, I think I need to talk to both of those agencies before to make sure they want to continue to do that and to find out if the board members want to continue to assume a role of liaison with the other governmental agencies within our county. So you might think about it.
So I would suggest.
But we got to have, if you're, Mr. Thornberry, if you're willing to stay on an MPO, we're required, the MPO, that group, that agency, it's a federal requirement that there be a representative from the airport on that. If you'd like to continue, we can make your appointment right now.
Yes, I'd like to continue on MPO as well as the EDP where applicable.
Okay, so we got that taken care of. And let me talk to both the city, and she's here this morning, and talk to the county. You know, we had Commissioner Deutsch, he was the liaison with the county and vice versa. And it depends how you set it up with those two agencies, whether you do it you know, by email to find out if anything's going on for a report on a monthly basis, or telephone, or if you want to go to their meetings, that would be up to you. But let me contact both those other agencies first.
I will move with liaisons to old business on the next meeting then, and you can make those determinations.
Sure.
Okay.
Just as a general comment, I think it's highly important that we, whether they reciprocate or not is up to them. I think it's highly important that we have a representative to keep tabs on and report and keep that line of communication between the city and the county, especially the school board even, especially with some of our latest initiatives on the education side. So I would just like to put it out there that regardless if they reciprocate, I feel like it would benefit us greatly to have some eyes and ears and a report on
Well,
those.
think about it and let me know, or we'll put it on the agenda for next month, what particular agency you might want to liaison with.
I would recommend they let Kelly know. Let Kelly know.
Or let Kelly know,
And I will,
yeah. And then we'll get it on the agenda.
yeah. Okay.
Okay,
No, we did not.
we did not.
We have one for legislative, which I think is
Yeah.
also very important, and that's not a reciprocation thing anyway, so, and that was Vanessa's
Vanessa did that.
liaison.
I'm
I'd
at the
just like to
county
hear
commission
from-
board
yeah.
all the time, so, you know, I'll be there today.
Right. County Commission.
Liaison.
He'd like to be liaison with the County Commission.
okay. The Board of County Commissioners?
And is it correct that traditionally the state legislative liaison would potentially travel to Tallahassee and also give the report at the delegation meeting?
Yes, that has been traditionally done. I mean, I will travel to Tallahassee probably 2-3 times this year, with Chad being the chair of Florida Airports Council. I'll be traveling with him as well as with the Airports Council, as well as individually with as a representative of the airport. So that's why I'm saying probably 3 times this year. At least one of those times, it's good to take a board member with you.
So, with that said, we have good representation from the state legislative perspective. Maybe we'll want to consider opening up a school board liaison in lieu of.
Okay. All right.
And historically, I've done the city of Punta Gorda, because the city of Punta Gorda is basically in District 2, and we could do that. Sure.
It's probably one of the most important local.
No comment.
Yeah, especially that, they've got a whole new governmental body there now, so.
Chairman Hansick, I've spoken with quite a few of the school board members. If that is going to be a possibility, then I would like to be considered for that then.
He raises a good point, in as much as, we got the A&P school going up and, a $7 or $8 million investment, and you want to go ahead, we can establish it. Probably need to contact someone there to make sure that they know we're going to do that.
We need action on that, just,
Well, it's just an assignment by the
It's
chair,
just
so.
assignment, yeah. Okay.
I'm all for it.
Sure, take it.
Okay.
Thank you.
So now we don't need to have it on old business? Mr. Hansick, City, Mr. Sewellen, County, Mr. Leskovich, School Board, and I will handle legislation.
Are we going to add COPOLA for community? Or do we just drop it off?
Want to table that one? President?
Well, might just as well put her on, I mean, let her do it. Yeah,
All right.
Sure. Okay, all right, moving on, item D under 15. It's a lease agreement with Aviation Service of South Florida. The board previously approved a commercial building lease with Flight Fast Track. And the term expires at the end of this month. Based on the appraisals of similar buildings completed in 2022, rent was established and negotiated and agreed to, as I understand it, for continuing the leasing of the building. And a new commercial building lease agreement between the Airport Authority and Flight Fast Track is scheduled to be from December 1 of this year for a 3-year term with rents of $6,000 per month for the first year, escalating to $7,200 per month, and then to $8,500 a month for the third year. Fourth year and annually thereafter, the rent will be based on increases in the consumer price index within the urban area. Chair will entertain a motion to approve said lease as recommended by the staff. Or
I move to approve and to allow the chair to execute the commercial building lease agreement with Aviation Services of South Florida, LLC.
I second.
Any discussion? I do have a question on it. How do you guys determine the fair market value on building leases?
We use a combination of a statewide survey done by an appraiser on airport property and then a local appraiser. And we pick
Kinda
generally
average
the
it.
cheaper of the two, so we give our tenants the best. Now, the appraisal came in at over $8,000 a month, so we are working them up to that over 3 years.
Okay. I think that's a fair way to do it when you have someone of an independent nature looking at establishing what those markets are, as opposed to pulling numbers out of the air.
We do not pull numbers out of the air. Everything is backed up.
Yeah,
by-
people need to understand that. That's how there's a method in establishing our property rentals. So if there's any further discussion, I'll call a question. All in favor of approving the commercial building lease agreement with Aviation Services of South Florida, LLC?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Carried unanimously. Okay.
Commissioners, if I could just interject for a moment, because we have some rather complicated motions here, and there's so much you're trying to approve, what I'd recommend is if you make your motion, you say, I make a motion to approve, say, item 15B. If it's as presented, meaning you want it just approved as presented, just say that. If it's with something you want changed, just add that change. That way that we have a clear understanding that the entire thing that as presented is requested to be approved. Thank you.
Which is usually detailed on your explanation sheet with the agenda, which is basically the yellow sheets.
It's just easier because sometimes we're dealing with some very complex matters. This one happened to be fairly easy, but if you could state the actual item you're moving, that would be best. Thank you.
Okay. Item 15C, expansion of our Air Center apron. We're going to be looking at that, and the staff has worked out an agreement with Michael Baker in an amount not to exceed $195,000 to look at the scope of work and what needs to be done in the expansion of that apron, which is up by the General Aviation Terminal.
Yes. So that'll be bid, it'll be designed as one project, bid as 2 phases, the 2 fill-in areas out there that are currently grass. And this will be both the engineering and the construction. It will be funded with DOT money at a crazy rate of like 85%.
Yeah,
That was based on the way the legislature wrote that in.
Yeah. If anybody's been up there and knows the existing ramp is packed, there's a lot of aircraft down there. It gets pretty tight up there right now. So it needs to be done.
Mr. Chair, I'll move to approve as presented.
Second.
Okay, got moved and second to approve the CEO to execute an agreement with Michael Baker International amount of $195,834.34 as presented. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carried unanimously. Item D, Northside Infrastructure with
Sorry, item D, RPR services.
RPR Services, D.
So,
What happened with C?
yeah, they're different on this and that, so we'll.
Okay.
C was Air Center on mine. Kelly's confusing me, but in the agenda, Air Center expansion was C, and then D is
Right,
RPR service.
RPR, okay.
So if you want, I can explain why we're going out for RPR services. We had been doing RPR, which is resident project inspectors, in-house. Our in-house RPR took a job with one of the contractors, and since this project is already
Underway.
in line, we're just going to have one of our engineers do it. And we got a proposal from EG Solutions of $375,602. That will be RPR services for the entirety of the project.
And that's a pretty complicated project.
It's a complicated project, and it is a federal law that we have an RPR here. I will note that we've had our own, and his salary was paid by the grant, so it's always a nice thing to be able to bring that in-house, and it was considerably cheaper because we're not paying travel and we're not paying a lot of other things. But we'll make a determination on whether we go out and hire another RPR in the future. But right now, we need to get this under contract so I can get that project started.
Okay. Chair will accept a motion to allow the CEO to execute agreement with EG Solutions in the amount of $375,602 for RPR services for the upcoming taxiway C and D intersection work.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and second. Any further discussion on the RPR services agreement? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Hearing no objection, motion carried unanimously. Okay, now we're going down to the north side.
North side infrastructure.
Okay, we're in sync on this one?
We are, no, we're
Okay.
not really, but we're in sync. So the,
If you just call it by 15E, so
We are 15, okay.
So 15E is north side infrastructure. This is construction phase services for Kimley Horn, the designer on the project, to handle all of the submittals and reviewing pay requests. This project will build the road that is next to our north side apron, and that'll connect the end of the parking lot where CTC is, as well as open up 5 more hangar locations, as well as feed the MRO that we approved a lease with about 6 months ago. And they are on track. They have performed every part of their lease requirements to date, and we're excited. It looks like they're actually moving forward.
Okay, Chair will entertain a motion to approve a contract with Kimberly Horn as detailed in 15E, an amount of $130,729 for project testing services, closeout, and the like.
I will move to approve as presented item 15E to allow our CEO to execute an agreement amendment with Kinley Horn and Associates, Inc., in an amount not to exceed $130,729.28.
Second?
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed, same sign, motion carried unanimously. Under new business, 15F, avigation easement. This is going to need some explanation.
So certainly, if we go to the next slide, there is a proposal to build an RV park on the property just south of Woodlawn, and as you can see in this picture, kind of in the V of the two runways. This park would get rid of a major bird attractant that we currently have in that lake that we've been trying to get rid of for years. It is a roosting area for a lot of the birds that we've had issues with on the airport for a long time. It's been recommended by our wildlife hazard team to get rid of it, and we have worked with Mr. Eckhoff to do it. It's just permitting it was difficult with us not being the owners. So from that standpoint, this is something that is good for the airport. The land is currently zoned ECAP, which is the zoning around the airport and including the airport, which does not allow this type of use. If you'll notice, just to the, what would be east of it is a manufactured home facility, and then due south of it is another RV park. Neither of those are in ECAP, so they didn't require anything from us. We do have abrogation easements with both of these. The county has requested comments from us on the rezoning request. And so I wanted to bring it to the board, explain our request, and our comments to the county would be that they would have to get rid of the bird attractant and also sign a navigation easement with us. This will be a higher end RV park than the one across Jones Loop. It will have what they call casitas. It's a small building that would, I'm assuming would have a small kitchenette and a little living area. We're told that you cannot permanently inhabit that structure. You would have to have your RV there. From what I understand, these will be sold individuals, so the navigation easement would continue with that piece of property throughout its ownership. It's a little more complex than the average development because it's a rezoning request, and I just wanted to bring it to the board to discuss before we proceeded.
Okay, we're not paying for this navigation.
We're not, no, we are not. So this is a blow up of the development itself. You can see the lakes. It is an existing lake, so there's not going to be any additional water bodies. And as I said, there's an island in the middle of one of those lakes that is currently a major bird attractant.
Okay, and it's clear that as these individual sites are sold off, the navigation easement will be attached.
The navigation easement goes with the land.
Goes with, and the individual parcels at some point in time, or under the canopy of it. Okay.
The navigation easement's recorded in the public record, so it becomes part of their title. It makes anybody that purchases something, they're aware
of it.
That there's an airport nearby and that there's certain limitations, and so that we can't be heard later to say, well, I didn't know it was there, I have all this airport noise. So we put the navigation easement in the public records, and it should be on their title insurance.
Okay, and the navigation easement will have all the normal stuff like noise, emissions.
We have a comprehensive form that we require them to file.
Okay.
Although the form I requested, Mr. Parrish said nobody would ever sign that, so we have a more simpler form now. But it says all the same stuff.
It says the same stuff.
It does the same thing.
It's not as mean.
Sounds
Well, just tried to be helpful. Okay. So basically, I don't know if we need a motion on this. We probably should have something in the record that authorizes us to send these comments to the.
Yeah, so I would just like approval for me to sign that letter or a letter very similar to that if there's any changes, or to have Brett sign it. Yeah. And that would go to the county for their comments and also to the developer. And the developer has agreed to working with us on the navigation easement and the birds.
And they'll go through their normal.
This will go through DRC, through all the county requirements.
Okay. So I guess we'll go ahead and request a motion that the authority authorize the staff to proceed with comments to the Charlotte County on this zoning change, which would basically recognize our request to include a navigation easement over the proposed development. Does that work for everybody?
Do you need a
Yeah,
reaction?
we probably should have a motion.
Okay, I'll motion to approve the letter as presented.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, all in favor to transmit the letter as presented to Charlotte County on the proposed development? Say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried unanimous.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
The next item, which is the north side infrastructure construction. which-
You might, let's go ahead and remind the commissioners exactly what's involved with that. And we've gone out for bid.
So, yeah, so we have, Kimley Horn previously designed this roadway. It's on the east side of the Air Center ramp, and it opens up a section of apron for hangar construction, as well as another large facility at the end of the road, which will be a maintenance and overhaul facility. We put it out to bid, and we had a significant number of bidders, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Stellar Development was the low bidder at just a little over $1 million. They are currently building the 6 hangars on the airfield. They finished the T hangars. They finished another hangar set for us. They built the 10 on the Air Center. They are the low bidder on the CTC project. So it's really a lot of synergy with them being here, building CTC and the road that connects them. We were excited that they bid on it. They have been very successful at being the low bidder and as well as completing projects on the airport. So we were happy to see them get this. I think it'll be a much easier project with the same contractor on both pieces of it.
And you do have a picture of the project that's in the construction report.
Yes, it's
Okay, Chair will entertain a motion to approve the CEO to execute a contract with Stellar Development as lowest regular and most responsive bidder for the north side infrastructure contract in the amount of $1,021,172.
71. 72. It's at 2 different places.
Is it one or?
Is it 1 or 2? It's 1? Okay.
Mr. Chair, I move to approve item 15G as presented.
Any further discussion?
We need a
I
second.
need a second.
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving the agenda item 15G as presented, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried unanimous. Okay. Item H, this is scheduling a December workshop, which we've been trying to do to review.
So,
H is something.
yeah, and we can do H and I as the same
Same
one.
time?
Because you aren't approving these. This is just this is the selection of the top 7. And I would like to bring all 7 of them in for a workshop to do presentations, limit them to about 10 minutes each. We sent out meeting date requests, and we could never come up with a consensus, so I said we'll just get a consensus here at the meeting. So I would like to bring these 7 back to a workshop at your time that everyone can make it. And I understand that Ms. Coppola is not here, but we will let her know what the decision is. So really, we're looking for a date for you guys to set to have this workshop.
Yeah, the staff has selected December 12th, 16th, 17th, or 18th.
Mr. Chair, the 18th is the only date that I'll be able to make out of that lineup. The 18th, December 18th is the only date that I would personally be able to make out of that lineup of dates.
Okay, and I can't do the 12th, so,
I can't do the 18th.
And this was the problem we had. There's,
How many hours are we anticipating?
2, 3. I mean, there's no reason we can't do it on another date. Those are the proposed dates. There's not a lot of work for staff putting this one together. It's just our consultants. I'd like to give them at least a couple of weeks or at least a week to start putting these things together. I mean, if everyone can look at their calendars and just, is there a consensus date, the 9th, the 10th? The 11th will all be here already in the afternoon, so I wouldn't want to do it that morning.
The 17th afternoon, possibly?
Is there a board meeting on the 19th of December?
No, sir.
no, there's no board meeting in December.
17th is bad for me.
How about the 10th?
19th is good for me.
How about the 10th?
You guys pick a date and I'll rearrange my life to make it work.
I can do the 10th.
I could do the 10th.
Depending on timing, I can do the 10th.
It would probably be 9 o'clock.
I can make the 10th work at 9.
Kelly, is that going to be okay for you?
Yes.
Okay. So we would need a motion to schedule
A
a workshop
workshop,
on the 10th.
and we have to advertise it. Chair will entertain a motion to schedule a formal workshop to review consultant proposals on December the 10th at 9 a.m.
So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed, same sign, motion carried unanimously.
Okay. And I will let the top 7 firms know that they will get approximately 10 minutes apiece with a Q&A after. So buckle up, it'll be a long meeting.
Yeah, I do have some questions on it. I'll reserve maybe for the meeting. You know, why are we gonna select 3 or 5? Why so many?
We have, can I talk to you offline?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll talk later.
I just, there's a reason, and we're very busy, and I don't want to overload anyone, and I want to have options.
I can understand that, yeah. Because there's a lot of airport work going on, especially in the state of Florida right now.
There is, and we just want to make sure that the one we pick has the time to do the project.
Got it.
Okay.
Okay, item 16, any public comments? Anyone wish to address the board on any subject? We'll allow you 2 minutes on the clock. No one is moving forward. So with that, we'll just open it up for any commissioners' comments.
I'll kick it off. First of all, congratulations to my fellow commissioners and our new board here. I look forward to working with you all. I think we have a great dynamic, and as Vanessa said, I think our best days are ahead of us. I believe that our past commissioners and staff has gotten us where we are and have done an incredible job, and look forward to what the future holds. I also want to thank staff that had the new executive positions. That's awesome. Like I said, we're a well-oiled machine, and of course it starts with the guy holding holding the oil can, so thank you for that. Just want to throw it out there that I'm working on a priority/wish list for the next 4 years. Don't get nervous, nothing crazy. And I'll be presenting that to our executive director here very soon. So that's it for me. Thank you.
I'd like to say thank you. I'm looking forward to serving on the board for the next 4 years. I'm excited, and I'm happy to see all the good stuff that's going to happen.
Steve?
And I echo what these two have said as well, but I want to thank my wife and my daughter who are here today for putting up with me through this campaign that I went through, and I appreciate her skipping school today to be here. She had a choice to go to school or come here, and she tells me yesterday, I'd rather go to school than sit there. But then she changed her mind. But thank you, I love you guys. I'm looking forward to working with all of you. Looking forward to the great successes we're about to have. And I want to thank the staff who has taken their time out for me over the last several months to help me, guide me. And I'm going to be also working with you guys to learn my process through this as well as Mr. Parrish as well.
Okay, thank you. And I'll just close in saying welcome to our new commissioners. It's going to be an exciting 2025, a lot of things to do, some great improvements. We've got a lot of growth going on. So we've got a job ahead of us. And I'll echo we got a great staff. And we don't want to say that too often, but anyway, and thank you all for coming and participating in our board meetings. They're fun, and they're televised too, you know, which is interesting. And I think we get a pretty good attendance, you know, for our commission meetings, which shows a great interest in the airport. So, and with that, we'll adjourn the meeting.